Hello, hello. Welcome, friends. Welcome, everybody. I am so excited to introduce you to our brand new author today. This is Farial English. Hi, Farial.
Hi, Miriam.
Congratulations. I'm so happy you are here. It's book launch day.
Oh, it's hard to believe, but I'm
Yes,
here.
yes, we are. Do you want to show everybody your book and tell them the title?
So it's Charlie and Sophie's Great Escape.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful book. You've got the hardcover there. I've got the soft cover here.
Yep.
So tell us, Farial, what inspired you to write this book?
Well, so this book is about our two border collie puppies that we adopted from a rescue. And they were just so full of joy, so their zest for life really made me happy and brought just made me grateful to be with them. And every time we take them for walks, I take pictures and little videos because I knew, just like children, puppies don't stay puppies very long. And I knew that this was a special time, and I wanted to someday write a book about their adventures.
Mhm.
So it's about my colleagues. But the inspiration actually was that Charlie got sick when he was about 5 years old. He was originally from a puppy mill, and it was just some genetic disorder that they were not able to diagnose. And so, just 4 months after the first symptoms, we had to make the decision to let him go. And
Oh,
that really broke my heart because, he just had so much to live for, so much for us to share with him. So that was kind of the impetus. After a while, I thought, okay, it's time, and I will write my book about him so he can maybe his spirit and his memory can live through the pages of my book.
oh, well, I'm so sorry about that, but I'm so glad that that inspired you to write this wonderful, wonderful book. So, can you tell us what is Charlie and Sophie's Great Escape about and who is it for?
Okay. So as I mentioned, they were rescue dogs. We have room here on our property, so we thought that we'd be able to give two little dogs a place to where they could live a more fulfilling life, just be free to run and explore and thrive. And so this was based on a real incident that happened here. So just like kids, puppies are curious, impulsive, and just full of energy. So it had been raining for a couple days and they were just cooped up, raring to go. So in this story, they can't wait anymore. They're very impatient. They take off, run off into the woods, leave their boy behind. And it's fun, they're unsupervised, they're enjoying themselves and exploring and whatever. But then Charlie does something that lands them into trouble. And at that point, they have to rely on working as a team, rely on their own initiative, their special abilities to make their way back home.
Hmm.
So, and the story is meant technically for kids 4 to 8.
Mhm.
But I think that, based on the illustrations and you can simplify the story, would appeal to younger children.
Mhm.
And I think that picture books really have a universal appeal because the themes that they refer to are relatable for us. I mean, we were all children once, a long time ago for some of us, but we remember and we can relate. And so, anybody who loves dogs, who loves nature, loves going for walks in the woods, I think the book would appeal to them.
Yes. You did a wonderful, wonderful job with the book. What is it that you hope that parents and kids will take away from this book?
Well, the message, the kind of deeply buried message in this story, is that we all make mistakes. That's just part of life. That's how we grow. So if we use those mistakes, those experiences to learn from, they can act as stepping stones towards growth. So
Mhm.
that's one main message. But then there are a couple of other themes that flesh out this core message. And that's one of them is the value of friendship.
Yes.
Um, so, Sophie and Charlie um, enjoy life. I think they enjoy communicating and playing with each other. So having a companion by your side with, their support, their encouragement helps.
Yes.
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 So they were, so that's good. And it just, another thing is self-reliance,
Mhm.
because they did have to rely on their own um, strengths and work together to find a solution to the problem that they found themselves in.
I love.
So that's the key.
Yes, yes. I love the illustrations, and on the back page, you also have some actual photographs of the dogs. I mean, the illustrator did a beautiful job. Can you tell us a little bit about your illustrator and then about these couple of pages in the back?
Definitely. So as I mentioned, this story is based on our real life dogs, Charlie and Sophie. And so I found my illustrator. Her name is Patricia Donera. She's Italian, and her strength was very realistic art, and she does watercolor with pen and ink
Mhm.
drawings. And she's a natural. She has done a lot of nature work, animals, um, trees, plants, those kinds of things. And because this was meant to be a memorial for Charlie, I wanted the images to be as close to the real dogs as I could find. And she did a marvelous job. She really, really did. And
She
that's why, yeah, and that's why I did include the photographs in the back, um, so the readers can see that it was based on on real dogs.
Beautiful, beautiful job. Farial, you talked about wanting to write a children's book for some time. So let's talk about you and your journey into becoming an author. What would you say was the biggest challenge when writing this book?
Well, so I have been a visual artist most of my life. So it's been photography, painting, quilting. So it's all the different aspects of visual art, color, design, that kind of thing. So when I decided to learn or to write a book for children, I had to learn how to use language and words to paint pictures for me instead of relying on actual pictures. So
Mhm.
I was able to, I just went to the library, got tons and tons of children's books, really got a feel for the writing and how to describe things in a way that painted that picture in a reader's mind. So I think that was, and then of course, all the editing. The edits were a challenge, but helped me to grow as a writer, I think. Um, so that was, I think, my main challenge, is to use another part of my brain.
Mhm. Well, you did such a wonderful, wonderful job. I'm so glad that you learned through all of that, through the editing and all the things that you did to get to this point. What would you say was the biggest lesson that you learned during the publishing process?
Patience and persistence.
Yeah.
So I had some issues with my illustrations being a little bit delayed. So I
Mhm.
had a longer waiting period, and that just added to a lot of anxiety on my part. And I was second guessing some of my decisions. I was also, that nice self-critical voice that's always in our heads was having a field day. um,
Mhm.
so I just made a conscious decision to focus on those things that I could control. So I
Mhm.
decided to learn how to use Canva and to really build my social media presence, because I didn't really have much of that. And it is important. So learning to use Canva to make better posts and to really get going on my Instagram. So that kept me busy and not so worried about other things. Um, and I just learned, patience. And then I was very persistent. And every day I just worked on the goal of doing what I could do and
That's
leave the rest, trust others to do their share of the project while I did mine.
Yes. Well, I'm so glad. I think that's such a good lesson for all of us. Patience, persistence, and also just we cannot control everything, but there are things we can control. We can control our thoughts. And like you said, doing one thing every day that would get you closer. There's a lot of people here leaving you their love and congratulations. I saw Karen, she said it was worth the wait. Chelsea's here. She says it's a perfect book. Paw. Allison says they're such cute pups. Laura says love teamwork, friendship, beautiful nature, adventure, and self-reliance. Aisha De Lorenzo says wonderful storytelling and lovely illustrations. Stacy's here. You did a great job learning the writing process after the visual. So many people just sending you so much love. Shala Desnavi, congratulations on your launch today. Wendy, your posts were amazing. So since we're talking a little bit about social media, would you tell everybody what your social media handles are so they can go and look at all these posts?
All right. So Instagram is just at Farial English. And then Facebook, I have a Farial English author page.
Okay, excellent. And I just put your website there so viewers can go and find you there, farialsbooks.com. So now you are an author. You get to hold your book in your hands. What is the best part of all of this for you, Farial?
Well, it's just having completed a goal that I set for myself. And it is amazing to think that just a year ago, this was just like a tiny spark in my mind. And then I saw your ad on Facebook and it just got the wheels turning. And I thought, we can keep putting things off, but it's now, I think. And that was to take the next step.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what your message helped me to do. It was just a little bit of nudge I think I needed, but I couldn't have done it alone. That was the thing that was just holding me back, because there are so many parts to this process that it's very intimidating. But you, Miriam, and your just incredible team just really, really kind of guided me every step of the way. And, like I said before, if I did my share, you guys certainly did yours. And so a year later, that spark is now a book that I can actually hold in my hands.
So beautiful. So beautiful. What was that like holding your book in your hands for the first time? And I will just say for those that actually want to see what happened, you can go to social media to find out. Farial put a video about it. But what was that feeling like for you?
Okay, so I'm not going to go too much because I don't want to start to cry. But when I was making my unboxing video, we had to do a few takes because it is, because Charlie isn't here now. But he is here, at least in my book. So yeah, it was pretty incredible, that feeling that what was in my head is now on paper, and I can share it with others.
Yes. Yeah. So beautiful. So friends, I do want to tell you, if you want to get a copy of this wonderful book, Charlie and Sophie's Great Escape, which you do want to go grab a copy of it, go to Amazon today. It's available in soft